channel and enjoy the amazing content on Inside Kotoko. Asante Kotoko best start here to players in the park. Yes, take it from me. To us. Asante Kotoko best started at home players. Take it from Selbe. When Kotoko started sacking players after the first season of Okumanyoma, they brought on a lot of players. Camara, Ablorh, Samba, Ablorh, Amoah, Patrick Esiedu, Lord, Amoah. Yeah, I'm going to be by Camara count. Now, some of these players, especially Ebimo signing as free agents, and Bebrine signing as free agents, did not sign 3 years contract. They signed 2 years contract. So Makawa, I'm a channel is there. I can mention on top of my mind 8 Asante Kotoko players are contract at the end of the season. On top of my mind, Mohamed Camara contract at the end of the season. Samba Ablorh contract at the end of the season. Joseph Ablorh, the contract at the end of the season. Henry Ansu contract at the end of the season. Andrews Intimelu contract at the end of the season. Mama said 5. It was Peter Acqua. Season the query and contract we no renew yet. Baba Yaya signed 30 years. Last season, no woman. Enti minyan chepen ne paper kra mama obe 8 players. Our contract beat me at the end of the season. Now Africa na come. Now the only major positive or inspiration that drive Ghanaian teams to go to Africa now is that one more call to use the game to market themselves and sell their players. That is the strategy. Enunti Africa na Kotoko ko yenyina. Na mpanimfo ne de mu tirim se ehu behia so ombeton baako mienu bi. Na se ida se baako mienu no ombeton. Won be gina no so e de ahwese ebi mu bebere betena. No bin say do baby a o ye afua o hia scout mi ton. Kokɔ ne be 3 bi. Ska na be bana de arane afuo. That mentality no wo. Sa adwene pon no e wo. In Africa on be born sa adwene pon no e wo. So they were looking at how some players will be exceptional to attract teams. Then they will cash out. Because they feel that when they cash out locally, making good use of the money, you can sign other players who will equally come in and help you win the league. The African na Kotoko kunyina ne eni wo mani so mo koje. Yanko ne yanko bone mante ni bi ho ya kono a ya ton omo ama bibi akoye. Now, under this same IMC, I am aware that when Lamptey called after, there was a deal for Lamptey, which was $100,000. na aka Richmond Lamptey 6 months contract. That time na Lamptey AFCON wakobi. The Lamptey go AFCON crown bobo. Then they decided that no, they are not going to sell. They want to keep Lamptey. Lamptey did not extend his contract. In fact, after the AFCON, Lamptey was mostly injured. Until after AFCON, league near the boy and near Brazil, Kotoko that second. Kubekaya that time, Kotoko that second, as some test that first. Now, penny for said, "You beat me league, no. You keep Lamptey. A tefa so Lamptey and Bobo Papa, to me and Bobo on the credit. Want me and Bobo because that time we were some season we and Lamptey extend the contract or the call Rwanda. Kotoko once so $100,000. Kotoko ended up not getting even a cent from it. They dealt with Mukwala. And from their conversation, it felt like Mukwala was giving them the assurance that he would stay, would sign and play for Kotoko. Mukwala the mayor, went to Mukwala for Simba. And the worst aspect of it of Simba, Mukwala in the 2 years. Simba for not term, but occur as a free agent. Kotoko onward transfer in. So it is something that the management are learning lessons say. When a player's contract is getting up and there are signs that he won't sign, whenever any offer deem fit bar, simple see be winner player no. And a sika won on sabe come. Ebe na Kotoko ni benya bi. Now what's me the onward shame because a bet Kotoko na transfer no the onward shame. They are willing to do that because 6 months to end the contract of a player, you don't really have much bargaining power unless the player is renewing his contract. We need to be able to me so Eddie a transfer. But I watch a criminal many panaqua onward and our Kokubuni Yabit call Saudi Hobby abuse a Katawa Simba Furniture around 1 million Hobby 500 demand. Kotoko would have gotten a percentage if Kotoko decided so yeah. Yeah, they Mukwala must Simba free and discount, but onward transfer 40% and Kotoko submit me a cassette scam. Therefore, a brave woman, we may play some contract every year. Peter Acqua signing 3 years as one as Now, if you don't know the story, there was also a deal for Peter. Now, say Peter, if you park nearby, now Kotoko told Peter, that's what my park, baby. And then when you say, do not have a dear. Oh, Peter is some small boy, 18 years, 19 years more. On find my $5,000. Maybe I'm doing $10,000. I am paying mama. Name of you did this about Germany. No, Bobo baby, I bet 2 years. Yami, everything I am. I'm a winner club beer. At the end of the day, Peter, everything. Yatono, so 500,000 or so 1 million view. Who got no percentage? But the management did not accept that. It's Peter to way some work or no super so. Because they be go for to assume say if Peter is moving from Kotoko and he's 19 years, I feel no go 20, 3 years in Europe, the final delivery now will be well developed in Europe to the extent that his final delivery will improve and he can become a good player. So the super so 2 point. According to no person to initial money a club with Piama Kotoko get well, and Kotoko don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. And Peter at this point is not willing to extend his contract. As soon was a moment Tom and the Anya Swasame. It's Yanshi, the management is aware that they can lose Peter without even having the possibility of an onward transfer from Peter. And Peter Susa. In Sawajika Kana Nemobi. That's all the over 40% are a investment, and that was a Peter Kubuni near corner. You get that money. They don't want to lose that. To Samba Ablorh Camara, Omba as free agent. Omba as free agent. In Sawano, one peka Krebianje. That's when Jai Samba on it, Camara no kwa. Now, because someone extend that, they will not extend. Because Kotoko cannot give them $5,000 a month. No, you can't give them back. Samba says come. But there are clubs who are willing to pay them $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Into obey or mebo, enemy agent in Casa, me agent beba, or Ghana 3 weeks. What there was no call. Into so the fatu trim say in the middle of the season, which is January. So what is a Kotoko Camara at home? Even if it's $20,000, they will take and let him go instead of letting him go free, all in the name of winning the league. All in the name of winning the league. Samba for the possibility of an onward transfer. Peter Acqua for the possibility of an onward transfer. So if you are a fan of Asante Kotoko, embrace yourself for some of these harsh financial transfer decisions. And I said it in the morning. People were doubting until they had the interview from lawyer Safuduku confirming that a Hokpan Suna Kotoko. Albert Chamu at the end is the tip of the iceberg. Kwame Pukumutona, na Kwame Chichichi, Mombe Discama Kwamiako, Ombejama Kwamiako, Ombejamako. Now, I'm back and I'll come and explain something. There is a big man that I've briefed Kotoko said. There's no way Kotoko will be relegated. If it's relegation, they should forget it. They are safe. But there's no way Kotoko can also keep players that are matured already. Keep players that are matured already. When they get an opportunity or when they get a deal, you can't keep them. Nipano wa chinchia or bobo no 28 years, football age. The proper age number 32. Nasi team be back. Yes, man, $2,000 will be jaw. Into who decides what the matured players be your pepe or they are then consistency. There is no way you are going to get that. Pegini be what kind of football matches and seminar the actual. So what me picking say? For players like Peter Acqua, you can keep them for 4 years. Season biane bia ba could be exception and what on now they maintain your mama canon because mom's kaka krebi on beji. But who prefer Chelsea for any or more man bono the carry on when him say a query we don't know about Kotoko they are. You should forget it. Any deal they will leave. And 2, you're going to pay a huge amount of money to even sign these players from your class, from their class. And unfortunately, if a Bibesa and Sanfa is a matured player, bear 100,000, no bebanenfa, and you quickly have to, how should I put it? Give him 2-3 years and son will adapt because he got Kobone and there. And then after now, Falcolana, Mass Alcolan 2 or 3 years, no adapt. Where Sarcolan Bema resale value? Where Sarcolan Bema? More years. And hombre, the bone is some Palana, Bonti hombre. It looks like this plan convincing a sorrow. It's our convincing sorrow there. they are going to initiate it. Into Joseph Ablorh, the contract at the end of the season. I am telling you, say, Kotoko company for betting out on January. In fact, so the Musa Hamzata. Oba and Edison, but if what on that, I'm not on. Oko. I'm going to be a Koto. Into San here. Embrace yourself. Samba Ablorh Camara, Samba Ablorh Camara. If in Penifone say his demands is becoming too much. This cannot to you. And that's what I'm telling you. Now the Albert Amoah story. Me can now pay say Albert deal no. A man signing in Ghana. In fact, my catcher must say Albert had a deal from Qatar the beginning of the season. Qatar. Not Albert, that was deal the beginning of the season. And he wanted to leave. But the Penny 42 and said there is the possibility of him playing for the Blasters. Between I could see a kind of Blasters. And Africa now put a papa. But go bet me upon the name I'm on one casane born akosoro. Now when the value of a player increases, it means that when you are being sold, sika wo beji as a personal one because and two, the conditions and the respect any time could be now for you to survive what team now and also because one chain no penny form for many to Blasters, no for many one to tell. They were kind of say a year Africa. And it looks like Albert agreed to that at Komaso. Now, Ebra work is share Kotoko one, not do not patch it from Libya. And from the American on Senkenra, if Asante Kotoko had qualified, Albert wouldn't have moved. That I know where I'm coming from. General Hotel, na Ali Benghazi for no Kotoko Hotel. They were there. Yes, no more. I'll say, based on conversation, they had agreed on the transfer fee. But signings were not done. TJ Tana and almost in science and science. And I just Ali for no, I unveiling on my body. And the actually, yes. I know people are much concerned about the timing. And that was also a conversation. Now, there were some members who were also trying to say, but I'm say, Sikana Aba, Jenintam, because a bosha, when you are branching, Edin Commandment, Sa Bosha, say, a Bruana Ubechuchuna and Twaswa. One she ya, na. Abranche ne money more kran was be dum nija na no me bisa one man member said no man timi amfa Blasters now convince Albert na. And this is what he told me. Obo am boss Albert ne jira hon approach no na bisa ne say Blasters any contract now was signed then no be choose according to what I was told. The player feel that the Blasters is a long shot away. What's the guarantee on the Befana? What's the guarantee on Manabo? But this one is ready. So a bird in the hand is better than a bird in the bush. So the player and his reps decided to accept. They kind of said a deal to Libya over at the end of the Blasters. Because the Blasters is not an assured thing for him as compared to the contract of Libya now. And they assured that near that table. Two Kotoko spending for who's on my Bokaka. Tina said the desire to keep him was also not there because Yaboka, Yan Teso, Yan Fanya Binyoma, na Yankoye. So, it's going to be interesting. But like I said, embrace yourself as a Kotoko fan. Now, it looks like youth team. No one's like a youth team, no. Normally, our youth team no more that. Say, I Kotoko Africa or lose Sebos on more youth team. You bought 2-3 matches will league in a financial youth team in common area. But it appears that this time around, nipa na with Mura, if you see him, Woma painting policy be at all on how they can use the youth team players. Once a Jordan and Miss Ampone son Kokoluno, but Coach Karim to felt that we won't be with more pursue use. And until I may miss Uncle. The boys no Musuma be Musu Abe Siako or Crown. Looks like in pennyphoning him the Omoya. Amoah Farewell Camara. So Albert is out. And maybe I feel say the deal affected his performance because when you as a man I make $10,000 a month. Me from 9 the Sima Abdul Fatih Nimbika. Na se kubu pay not the only collapse and I'm a anything. And from my insomnia so Albert a proud fully fit. But probably not teaching a 9 to protect himself from any injury that could affect his move. And our set chairman will leave. Yes. It's going to be interesting. Some of you think that it will be the same people who will say, but we let Abisa. Okay. Tiabasa, about for me, I say a hypocritical team, no broso, hypo, mobroso. Yan Castle man, make us a place no buying. So, the bunny say will be a better. But what I'm telling you guys is that Kotoko will be heading towards a new direction, and that direction could involve some consistency. Now, yeah, 1 year can team we maintain in about 3 years. Na baby and Tokru dan yen tuano. And yes, I never cause. The management don't want another episode of Mukwala and Richmond Lamptey. If the player will not extend his contract, they will rather even take any amount so that Kotoko can have a percentage in the onward transfer. And that is what happens in the future. Until 55 minutes, any didn't come on this platform. I said, Median from the hotel. And we could do all. So that is the Albert bit. Now it's going to be Donzu. What I say, it's going to be Donzu. And then a new job that I miss and Kwame Puku. Now, but someone here torn and Kwame Puku no what to Kwaya. Overboard just half a season or share 14 goals in the event. Don't forget that Kwame so sign 1.5 years, if I'm not wrong. And that I do January and as a Kwame I kind of half no. I probably have to check my archives. But January Kwame Puku about 1 year. So even if Kwame Puku signed 2 years, even if he signed 2 years, what it means is that January na Kwame Puku about 1 year. Na kind of 1 year. Season be we na Kwame Puku 6 months. So even if he signed 2 years though, as a Kwame Puku signing 2 years, I can't Kwame Puku January, I kind of 1 year. When the season comes to an end, I can't Kwame Puku 6 months. Now, as a Kwame Puku signing 1.5 year, there's a season we have Kwame Puku to contract. I have to check my records. It's Kasem Minia Morocco, Hania Ban, Hana, it said Spain. I had to say France. Anyone board them, Papa. If you are put with him, you die, or multiple players no few medical bills, the monthly salary, the management is really pumping a lot. You know, okay, for reference, someone buy for certain sponsorship for Kotoko. I don't know if you are aware, send it also can internally generate money. And the man penny any info for Abu Sensos. International supporters election. Nebra supporters for no more put to me born 20 now. Nase or more register for Kotoko. So let's see. You are Braboni Goha, Uduha, a con non one, and Ibrewa, even was. But also, those who for now is not up there, he's not in the best of shape for you to trust that he can lead. But the point is, it will be a bit like and when he realized that he is the only option left, sometimes they go hard to make sure they will deliver. But what I mean, as who say the Jano. So Kwame Puku, for some time now, he's been training with Asante Kotoko youth team, a black Kotoko Accra. Kwame Puku has been training with the youth team. Baba Mahama has also been training with the youth team and together with somewhat in the do. Kotoko youth team na training na a year Ghana. I say be a Kwame Beba no be fit to come and play for Kotoko league matches na Kano. But send na American. If Kwame signing 2 years, then they say we remove January. Naka Kwame Puku 1 year. Nasa Kwame Puku signing 1.5 for so there. Yes, we remove January. Naka Kwame Puku 6 months. And that is the story. Ewa Asante. The tea. But it means something very live from Morocco. We say until supporters contribute massively to the Fabu census to get money management can never keep the players. And we shall work supporters nearby now. On say Mimbelimu Kotoko because Babaya Sports Stadium there's a CAF Confederations Cup match in Tomeba in their numbers. I'm talking about the WAC players or the WAC fans. It probably was in Babaya Ibiaka Kotoko Subinya number close to that. But the point I'm trying to make is that see that we find a way of improving attendance, a way of getting people to contribute more on the Fabu census, way of running Kotoko like a business and making money from the corporate world. And yes, I had $5,000, $6,000 now amount for Twitter. When it comes to African football, $10,000 now Kotoko. $2,000 krana dani nyame amano. You can't keep the best players. You can't extend the contract of best players, and even locally, you can't sign some of the best players. Because a media matimiton player, Echo Europe, Brekum Chelsea Tom, be Kwesi Badori, and they got complaining about defensive midfield because Adabo is here to settle. But Kwesi Badori got moment me Anton, and this season the Ghana Premier League. Anybody that is watching the Premier League will attest to the fact that Kwesi Badori has been super for Brekum Chelsea. But he's been doing well. But first, like I got Kotoko no afa 5. Not na windy professional, no sasa. No Olympics, no sasa. Now you can't do that again. Especially if you don't have, because wafa no beton ako Europe. Or beton ako Austria straight. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And let's wish the team all the best. It's my baby Drew Ghana and they remember that. So back Sabri Kwadometu Kumasi. It was channel Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days more. Santo Kotoko will be playing the Ghana Premier League game. I think it's against Karela. Karela is also one stubborn side, a power that you can't afford to lose. How they can respond and at least please the fans after such a disgraceful result of losing 5-1. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. The kakre wa hano no, I'm Bindi. Na enumere, I'll be leaving Morocco tomorrow to take, and I'll get to Ghana on Monday. There's a Monday enumere the movement over the studios of Seobe. Yet me abo Morocco nkomoni. Yes, shall na epese be duru Ghana ye kan nyina ye be duru yet me aka ma bibia timi akoyi. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. No team in Ghana has supporters. We all have sympathizers. Real supporters are the first sponsors. Supporters are the main stakeholders and therefore has a role to play. Bye, safe journey. Thank you very much, Edu Jemfi. The confidence which trying to get the amount for those who are not able to watch the full video. But I'm sure after this video, you get a better understanding of what is happening and what is going on. Bye bye.